ईद-ए-गदीर और इमाम अली रिसर्च सेंटर का कयाम 8 जून बरोज इतवार ईद-ए-गदीर के मौके पर अमेरिका की तारीख में पहली बार इमाम अली रिसर्च सेंटर का बाकायदा कयाम हार्टफोर्ड इंटरनेशनल यूनिवर्सिटी के शोबा रिलीजन एंड पीस में अमल में लाया गया। इमाम अली रिसर्च सेंटर के बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स डॉक्टर हुसैन कामले, एग्जीक्यूटिव डायरेक्टर डॉक्टर मेहदी काजमी, डॉक्टर हसन अब्बास, डॉक्टर हुसनैन वालजी और प्रोफेसर ताहिरा नकवी इस अहम और तारीखी इकदाम पर मुबारकबाद के मुस्तहिक हैं। हार्टफोर्ड इंटरनेशनल यूनिवर्सिटी से डॉक्टर डीना ग्रांट ने खुसूसी शिरकत की। इमाम अली रिसर्च सेंटर यूनिवर्सिटी लेवल का एक ऐसा मुनफरिद इदारा कायम किया गया जिसमें हजरत इमाम अली रजी अल्लाह ताला अन्हो और अहले बैत की सोच और तारीखी पस मंजर में इस्लामी मुआशरे और तहजीब की तरवीज व तरक्की जैसे अवामिल को मद्देनजर रखा गया। ये प्रोग्राम रेवरडेल यार्ड क्लब हडसन रिवर के किनारे ब्रोंक्स में मुनक्कद किया गया। हैदर काजमी ने कुरान पाक से सूरह असर तिलावत की और फिर इसका अंग्रेजी तर्जुमा भी पेश किया।
By the passage of time. Truly you are in a state of loss, and I believe that God is talking to us directly, with empathy, with understanding of loss and of the passage of time. And then God offers a solution in 4 parts. Truly you are in a state of loss, except for those of you who believe, who do righteous works, who trust in the truth and who trust in patience. And I think we can all learn from this. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ya Ali Madad. Eid-e-Ghadeer Mubarak to all. Again, thank you so much for coming. Welcome to the launch of Imam Ali Research Center. We are attempting to create a beacon of academic excellence and spiritual equity. Thank you very much for attending our effort today in the journey towards Imam Ali. My heartfelt thanks to Dr. Kamali, Dean Dr. Grant, and Dr. Hasnain Walji, who's right there at the back, for bringing the story to the point where this humble servant of the Ahl Bayt, Abba Ahl Bayt, is announcing the launch of Imam Ali Research Center. My earliest memory of Imam Ali is as a child, when my mother, who's right there, would say, Ya Ali Madad, when I stumbled and recited Nade Ali in keeping with the Sunnah of the Prophet. O Ali, Noor of the unknown, come and help me. And he always did. As I grew older, I began to see Imam Ali everywhere in all aspects of his life and our lives. In early adulthood, he was visible as the exemplar of courage and restraint, fearless, without arrogance, the embodiment of beauty, justice and equity. I saw him in this great body of knowledge and Abrahamic tradition called Islam, and most of all I saw him all over humanity, in our legends, in our art, in our aesthetics, in philosophies and theology, in the conduct of everyday life, in governance, and in all features of Zahiri and Batini existence. And then in my journeys, I had the opportunity of encountering my Shaykh, Mir Abu Sayyid Ahsanullah Safari, the great Chishti master of our time, in whose Sufi lodge, Mehfil Maula Momineen, is held monthly for a century. He redirected me to the path of Imam Ali. Dr. Hussain Kamali, our executive director, where are you, Dr. Kamali? There you made it abundantly clear that the way forward is in academia, to set up an institution that is scholarship-driven, not just face-driven. Dr. Dina Grant, Dean at Hartford International University, without whose encouragement this would not be possible, very kindly shared in this vision and made it happen. We are blessed to have her insight into creation of an academic institution. Thank you. Dr. Kamali will elaborate on the operations and institutional aspects of Imam Ali Research Center. Our vision is to nurture scholarship and a generation of scholars who pursue intellectual rigor with spiritual clarity, bridging heritage and the future to foster justice and unity through scholarship. Our mission is to provide rigorous academic resources rooted in Shia thought and to foster intra-Islamic dialogue, support ethical, justice-focused research, and build a global hub of scholarship and spiritual insight. We have a rich body of knowledge, spirituality, theology, literature, arts, history, philosophy, politics, culture, and evolving thought tradition that provides fertile ground for scholarship and a just future for humanity and all of humanity. All these areas and more fall in the ambit of our Imam Ali Research Center. We are not starting this institution from scratch. We have several aspects and assets that will propel Imam Ali Research Center. Already dedicated board, Dr. Kamali, Dr. Balji, Dr. Hassan Abbas, Professor Zaira Naqvi from NYU. Our physical library is already functional in Mayopac, New York, at the Aulia Council Center. We are an affiliate of the Imam Ali Chair for Shia Studies and Dialogue between different schools of thought. We just completed our library website link today, so with the help of Carla, it was really very nice. We are an affiliate of the Imam Ali Chair for Shia Studies and Dialogue between different schools of thought, the first Imam Ali Chair in the US. We've already published a few works, some of them are exhibited here. I'm putting together a board of advisors. Dr. Kishwar Rizvi, who happens to be my cousin too, is head of the Department of Islamic Studies for Islamic Architecture at Yale, and she's already joined the board. I have many to thank: Mia Huzur Sheikh Abu Said for his spiritual inspiration, our board members for their guidance and advice, this great United States of America that, in spite of all that is happening, makes this creativity possible. Many friends, some of whom I hear, some in distant lands, my family and extended family, my wife Kalina and my son Jacob, where are you? There you go. Both for their immense patience and support, and I promise them this is the last project of my life. My mother, who instilled the love of Ahl-e-Bayt in all of us, my brothers, Dr. Hussain Kazmi, Ali Abbas, and my sister Zahra. I want to thank all who have committed to contribute to this institution. I want to thank and recognize Hartford International University for Religion and Peace for partnering with us. President Joel Lohr agreed to proceed forward with our affiliation during my first meeting with him. I think it shows wisdom and foresight. I am especially grateful to Dr. Dina Grant for her unending support in helping birth an institution from scratch, an act of wisdom and kindness. Please help us in this effort. This cannot be done alone. Join us in this necessary project by giving generously. We will show you your results within a year, and I promise you, we have things in process, we have works in progress, and our fellow, Dr. Kamali will tell you more details, already has, whoever we choose as a fellow already has works in progress. Our first year budget is about $200,000. My family are seeding it with the project with funding in place. Your contributions are tax deductible. We'll be a 501c3 organization by the next tax cycle, and you can donate today by going to the link provided to you by clicking on the QR code on the Bible. We give everybody the links. Those who wish to make a commitment, please fill out the form and kindly close the commitment within a week's time. Zara, my sister, will pursue you in the end. I'm grateful to those who have already committed. Dr. Hasnan Balji has contributed to the Mullah Asghar Resource Center, my cousins, the Rizvi and Sheikh family from Houston and New York, the Jaffrey family of Connecticut, and a few others, including my good friend Raja Satsab, have already made their commitments. I would like to call upon Dina now, Dr. Dina Grant. She is the Dean at Hartford International University, and she is Professor of the Hebrew Bible, and she will introduce herself more. Dina, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Bosman. I feel very honored to be able to be a part of this. Dr. Dina Grant, Dean and Vice President of Academic Affairs at Hartford International University and Associate Professor of Jewish Studies at Hartford International University. And I'm here in part in my capacity at Hartford International University, and therefore would like to talk a little bit about this partnership with the Alui Council and why this partnership is so important to us at our university. HIU's mission, that's what we call ourselves for short, is to build bridges across religious traditions through scholarship, dialogue, and engagement. In order to do this well, at least in my mind, we need not just do a cursory study of religion, and we need not just describe religious traditions in their broadest general terms to appease us all into agreement while saying very little. Rather, for true learning and respect to emerge, we need to understand religious particularities. We need to study the socio-cultural, historical, the legal, ritual practices of our religious traditions. The particularities of Islam have been a foundation of HIU's teaching, research, and public engagement for many years. And as one example, I'll just mention that we developed the first Islamic chaplaincy program in the country. And we've been training Muslim chaplains to work in the military and hospitals and universities for many years. And in fact, I believe around 60% of our chaplaincy students are Muslim. But this program and the other MAs we offer and our PhD program takes a lot of resources, and we invest in these resources. A major investment that I would like to talk about that was made both by HIU and critically by our donors has been the Imam Ali Chair for Shia Studies and Dialogue among Islamic legal schools, which was established in the fall of 2015. Since its establishment, the Shia Chair and its activities have become an integral part of HIU's distinctiveness through the work of Dr. Hossein Kamali, in part, who is the third holder of this chair. I'm not going to weary you all with a long list of Dr. Kamali's achievements, in part because I only have a few minutes, but also because I know he would strongly dislike me doing this. But I will make you aware of the contours of his work, especially insofar as it relates to his work here and our partnership here. In addition to the numerous essays and articles that Dr. Kamali has published, he wrote a book, A History of Islam in 21 Women. The book has been translated into multiple languages, reviewed favorably by the New York Times, and occasionally reached bestseller status in its category. And for those not so familiar with the academic world, academic book and bestseller never have anything to do with one another. It never happens. Of course, isn't that the point, though, of scholarship? To disseminate it, which is what we try to do with these partnerships and with our work. As the holder of the Imam Ali Chair, Dr. Kamali has given Shia studies a prominent place at HIU and enhanced its visibility both locally and nationally, lecturing for local and international and academic and lay audiences wide and far. And with his help, we convened the first international Eid-e-Ghadeer conference, which took place in Stanford, I believe last year. But one can only do so much as an individual, and even with the support of a university behind him. My hope is that the Imam Ali Research Center and HIU will build on the success of the Chia Chair. And one thing just to mention is, in addition to the Chia Chair, we also have a PhD program. And people who come to study at a university usually come and pick somebody they want to study with. Dr. Kamali is one of the top choices. We have people trying to come study with our PhD program to the point where we have to protect him from not having too many students. If I may take a moment, together, HIU and Imam Ali Research Center, with this newly formed and newly launched Imam Ali Library, would like to build a library that contains monographs on Islamic studies, focusing on Shia studies, translations of poetic and literary works, and much more. And as I mentioned, a major goal is advancing scholarship is to enhance its visibility and ultimately its impact. Toward that end, we'll be sponsoring a postdoctoral student who I think Dr. Kamali will talk more about, to produce new research, to organize academic talks and conferences, and to even teach. To get theological for a moment and to conclude, conclude, if the one just and compassionate God sent prophets to guide humanity, as is both a Jewish and Islamic belief, in my mind, it is our job to enhance the visibility and impact of their words and their messages. The Imam Ali Research Center and the Imam Ali Library, in partnership with HIU, aims to do this. So thank you for joining us tonight, and I'd like to invite back Dr. Kazmi, who will introduce Dr. Wali.
Our next speaker, he is president of the Jafar Family Foundation and the United Alliance. He'll introduce himself a little more, and he is also former president of the Hoja Association.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My dear friends, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Don't accept that. Let's try again. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you so much. Thank you. I have a few minutes, but I just heard something from Dr. Kazmi. He promised his family that this was going to be the last project he's going to undertake. Well, I promised that to my family last year, that this was the last project that I will take, and here I am with another project. So don't believe that. With that said, with some levity, I think we are gathered here for a very important purpose. And that purpose is a movement that began, as Dean said, way back in 2015 in the fall. I was there as part of the community funders, and I'll come to that in a minute. So we've come a long way. It's been 10 years, and this is an extension. Over the 10 years, to be blessed with the opportunity to now expand this beautiful program to the Imam Ali Research Center in collaboration with HIU. The importance of this, particularly in this day and age, the time that we are living in, cannot be overemphasized. Particularly for Muslims. When I came to this country many years ago, in 1996, from the UK, one of the things that I learned about American institutions was, and I was told by a mentor of mine, that if you do not have a seat at the table, you will be on the menu. And this is very serious, because we as Muslims need to take a seat at the institutional table. In the United States or wherever we are, we must engage. And the second thing that I learned was, which was the same in the UK as it was in the Western academia here, was that forgive me for saying this, I speak very plainly, I speak from the heart. I have no notes. The whole idea was, about 15 years, maybe 2 decades ago, Western academia, be it in the United Kingdom or be it in Canada or the USA, was plagued with an ailment. And that ailment, as Edward Said put it so eloquently, was Orientalism. The idea of others defining Muslims who we are had taken root because we did not have scholars from within the faith who could change that narrative. With the grace of God, there are now universities where we have budding young scholars and not so young scholars like Dr. Kamali here, who have taken up this mantle to reshift this narrative that was left as Orientalism, and we are being viewed with a lens as we should be. Why am I sharing this? I'm sharing this because when we set our sights on establishing the Imam Ali chair at the Hartford Seminary, as it was called then, it was with that very vision to say, here's a man who is a genius. Here's a man who is a social scientist. Here's a man who knows government. Here's a man who is a philosopher. He's a man who is a theologian. This was Imam Ali alayhi salam, and that his name was hardly anywhere in the Western academia. Even today, when we look at it, you look at social studies science, social sciences, you look at humanities, where is the name of the man who said to his governor, Malik Ashtar, when we went to rule Egypt, to say, when you go to Egypt, you will find two kinds of people. You will find your brethren in faith, and you will find your equals in humanity. Treat them equally. This is the justice of this man. When we teach government, where is his name? So it was with that aspiration that we felt that we had to make a start somewhere. And the community came together. Hartford Seminary was gracious enough to accept that we were able to establish the Imam Ali chair at the Harvard University. And 10 years have gone by, and as I say, I don't sugarcoat things. I see them and I say them as it is. Indeed, much work has been done in the recent past. Thank you, Dr. Kamali, for all the work that has been done. But I say this with the greatest of humility, that the expectations of the community, the vision that the community had about the Imam Ali chair have not been totally fulfilled. And this is something, I don't want to relitigate anything. I believe in going forward. But the point needs to be made that when we invested the endowment, the expectation was that you would get far more in terms of interaction. Circumstances did not, allow us to do various things, and I'm not apportioning any blame anywhere. The whole idea is now to move forward with this great project that we have, the collaboration between the HIU and the Imam Ali Resource Center or the Research Center. And that is the direction that I believe we need to take. Last point that I will make, as to whether it is academia here, academia elsewhere. In the golden period of Islamic sciences, we had the Ibn Sinas and the Al-Ghazalis and Ibn Rushd and all these great scholars who came through. Something happened. What has happened is they did not have to worry about tuition fees. They did not have to worry about loans. They were there willing to study. The community allowed them the resources to study. We hope that the donor community sitting here is going to assist us to say that no postdoc fellow or no person who wants to study would not be able to study because they cannot pay tuition fees or they would take on a loan. We will only produce the Ibn Sinas of this era when we open this out. My friends, just to give you a perspective, $1 trillion of zakat money is being given by Muslims all over the world. If only we had 1% of that trillion to be put to education, our situation would be completely different. This is the mindset change that this community needs to have. And inshallah, we hope that we will set an example. The gracious community who is here will also set that example to be able to see that the postdoc fellows that we fund are not deprived. We don't want to just have one postdoc. We want to have many. I have overshot my time. This was my sort of one opportunity to address friends to say we have very important work to do. This train has left the station. We have a library. We have a research center. We have beautiful collaboration with the HIU. What are we waiting for, my friends? We need to bring in, and Dr. Kamali will talk to you very briefly in terms of what is it that we're going to be able to do. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum.
Kamali, who's our Executive Director, and as you heard, he's the chairholder of the Imam Ali Chair at Hartford University, and Dr. Kamali is the instigator of all this. So, please.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of God, the compassionate, the merciful. In His name we begin, and in Him we place our trust. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As you know by now, everyone, my name is Hussein Kamali, and I'm delighted to welcome you as we announce the launch of the Imam Ali Research Center and Library. I take this moment to extend my blessings for the two Eids, Eid-e-Qurban, which was 2 days ago, and Eid-e-Ghadeer, which will be upon us, is approaching on June 14th. Thank you for coming. You honor me with your presence, each and every one. I would like to single out each and every one of you by name, but that would take my 6-7 minutes. So I apologize for not doing that. I also thank Dr. Mehdi Kazmi, Dr. Dina Grant, and Dr. Hasnain Walji for their remarks. Dr. Kazmi has been the driving force behind this initiative of having the Imam Ali Research Center and Library. I cannot thank him enough, not only for his unwavering dedication to this initiative, but also for his gracious friendship, for his patience, and much more. The idea of founding a research center and the world-class library focusing on Shia studies as a niche topic of interest had come up in our conversations many times. And last June, during the first International Ghadeer conference that Professor Grant mentioned, Dr. Kazmi shared with the audience his commitment to seeing the idea come to fruition. That conference had been funded by the offices of the President and the Dean of the Hartford International University for Religion and Peace, namely by Dr. Joe Lord and Dr. Dina Grant. I take a moment to acknowledge their support again and the help of my colleague, Ms. Susan Schoenberger, who has been very supportive, very kindly supportive of the effort. Before and after that conference, a few dear friends donated more than 1,000 or so volumes of books to the library. More is on its way. I thank them all one by one. Especially, I would like to name Dr. Ali Shakibai, Mr. Hussein Mahalati, Professor Richard Bullitt, who have been big donors to the library, as well as Dr. Kazmi, and I also have contributed some titles, and also Ms. Azad. Very much. Thank you. I shall also thank the funders of the Imam Ali Chair, as Dr. Walji mentioned. The Imam Ali Chair for Shia Studies and Dialogue among Muslim Schools of Thought. And Dr. Walji represents one major group, or one group of major donors to that chair. And this happened way before I joined the Hartford Seminary. I've been there since 2019. So the effort, I deserve zero credit. No credit. What else? As part of our vision to establish the Imam Ali Research Center and Library, Dr. Kazmi and I have been working closely with HIU, especially with the Dean, with Dean Grant, Professor Grant, to establish a postdoctoral fellowship there, and gladly the administration has expressed and shown support. I'm going to give a very brief report of what we have done in that regard. We announced the fellowship offering on March 25th of this year, and the deadline for the application is still open until June 14th, which is Eid-e-Ghadeer this year. By the way, HIU is the only university in the United States, only second to Princeton University, to acknowledge Eid-e-Ghadeer on its academic calendar. And that's an important point to note. No other university does that. So far, we have received 65 inquiries as of this morning, not only from the United States and our neighboring Canada, but also from Germany, Italy, and France in Europe, as well as the United Kingdom, India, Pakistan, Egypt, Turkey, Iraq, and last but not least, from Iran. Filtering out incomplete applications, those lacking cover letters and resumes, has left us with 37 complete submissions. Regrettably, most regrettably, we have had to set aside 14 viable applications from Iran because of the recent White House proclamation calling for the full suspension of entry for nationals of Iran. Now, our review committee has 19 solid submissions to examine and announce the decision by the end of June. This is the time. About a dozen proposals stand out as particularly promising. I cannot be too specific, bound by privacy considerations for the applicants, but I'll mention 3 proposals just to give you a sense of what we are looking for and what is possible. Number 1, a study of the construction of sacred space, focusing on the city of Najaf. Number 2, a study of African Muslim women during the first 2 centuries of Islam, the first 2 Hijri centuries. Number 3, examining the history of exalting Ali and his family as uniquely sacred among Sunni Muslims. There are, as I said, a dozen or so solid applications. Our postdoctoral fellow will be expected to complete and submit an academically publishable manuscript by the end of their appointment. Dr. Kazmi, along with the other members of the Board of Trustees of the Imam Ali Center and Library, and I have to thank every single one of them for voluntarily serving on this board. There is no remuneration. This is all voluntary. We have even higher expectations and visions. Besides 1 full postdoctoral fellowship, which provides a competitive stipend along with the benefits, insurance, and accommodations each year, we hope to bring together a small group of select affiliate fellows for research, affiliate research fellows to pursue work and to produce publishable work. Perhaps in time, we may also establish a cooperative publishing house. That is in the future. More readily at hand, we are working to enrich our library. We work closely with my colleague, Mrs. Carla Grafton, Director of HIU's library, to achieve this goal. Besides hard copy books, journals, and other print materials, we seek to provide online access to a panoply of electronic resources, especially those that only few universities, if any, have access in the United States as of now. Allow me to thank you again, each and every one, especially my family, my wife, and my mentor, Professor Bullitt, and every single friend who is here. Not least, I want to thank Dr. Kazmi again for hosting us here today. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to add something. If there are any questions and comments, because that's the best way to conduct communication, to ask questions, to answer questions, and to be answerable. So if there are any points you would care to make, please let us know. Either now or at your own convenience. Anytime. Nothing now?
My name is Tahira Naqvi, and my presence here is for a very specific reason at this time, at this place. I'm going to talk a little bit about the written word. The written word is where it's all at eventually. That's what we've been talking about. We can't just talk and have a good meal and then go home. It's the ultimate product is the written word. So one of the things that the Imam Ali Research Center is going to do is to produce books and things that have been written. And I want to say that today we have two sets of books that were printed by the Imam Ali Research Center printing press, right? And they're over there. And today is Eid-e-Ghadeer, when we give and receive gifts. So we're all going to be giving something. And the giving consists, of course, of donations of all kinds. It also, at this point, includes buying, not buying actually, that's the wrong word, I've been struggling this afternoon with it, taking books from that table and then leaving us a donation which will contribute towards creating greater numbers of written words for all of us that have to do with Islamic research.
That donation for the books is separate from what you guys are going to give us.
So there are all
that's
kinds of
separate.
donations to be
All right,
taking
so
place.
Shela will hand out the commitment forms to everybody. Please donate generously and take this seriously. Right?
And one more thing, last thing. So we have on the table this book which is called, for those of you who understand Urdu, Ahwale Ali Bazubane Ali. This was written by my father, late father, Sayyid Ikram Hussain Ishrat. I found the manuscript in his papers after he had passed away, and I waited several years wishing to publish it somehow, to bring it to fruition so it could be there. And the Imam Ali Research Center comes along, and the Imam Ali Research Center printing press comes along. Mehdi and I go back a long way. That was when we were just a dream in his head, and he was talking about it, and we were having little events at NYU in the Kevorkian Center. So that it took all this time for me to eventually have this book in my hand, and this is a gift to me, and this is my gift to my children and to my grandchildren. But I have copies here for any of you and all of you who would be interested, and this is going to be, through this, your gift, and other books as well. Here's another one.
Any translation?
To the Imam Ali Research. Thank you very much. Enjoy your meeting.
Now this also, this other book, this is Wasi Rasool. This is a translation of Professor Hassan Abbas's book that I have translated and into Urdu. And the original English work is there, that was published by the Heir to the Prophet, that was published by Yale University Press. So this is the first translation in Urdu, and it was published and printed in India through the Imam Ali Research Center.
प्रोग्राम के आखिर में सामी ब्रदर्स ने ईद गदीर के मौके की मुनासबत से मनकबत अली मनकुन तो मौला पेश की और हाजरीन ने बहुत लुत्फ उठाया। महफिल समाज से पहले पेश खिदमत हैं अहम शख्सियात के इंटरव्यूज।
Hi, I'm Dr. Dina Grant, Dean and Vice President of Academic Affairs at Hartford International University, and here we are having an event in honor of the Imam Ali Research Center and the Imam Ali Library and Research Center, the LOSH, as well as the partnership with Hartford International University, and we're kicking it off tonight, and we had some Qawwali dancers and some speeches, and hopefully we raised some money. We are hoping to have a postdoc come to HIU, and we're hoping to do some publishing. We're just very excited about this partnership and about our work together.
My name is Hussain Kamali. I hold the Imam Ali Chair in Shia Studies and Dialogue among Muslim Schools of Thought at the Hartford International University for Religion and Peace, formerly Hartford Seminary. And tonight we gathered here to launch the Imam Ali Research Center and Library together with my friend and associate Dr. Mehdi Kazmi and this is going to be a collaboration between the Imam Ali Chair at the Hartford International University and this recently established research center. And we are going to offer one postdoctoral fellowship this year. And currently we have 65 applications, out of which we have selected 19 as for the final phase. And we hope to have a number of research affiliates or affiliate fellows also at the center who will be working on various research projects, and the aim is to have a number of respectable, credible, high quality academic publications.
So आज हम यहाँ जमा हैं इमाम अली रिसर्च सेंटर और हार्टफोर्ड इंटरनेशनल यूनिवर्सिटी की कोलैबोरेशन से एक प्रोग्राम शुरू किया गया है जो कि एक तरह का एकेडमिक प्रोग्राम है जिसमें मास्टर्स की डिग्री होगी, पोस्ट डॉक होगा उन तलबा के लिए जो इमाम अली पर और शीइज़्म पर काम कर रहे हैं और ये हार्टफोर्ड इंटरनेशनल यूनिवर्सिटी जो है उसके साथ ये लोग मंसूब होंगे, वहाँ पर ये क्लासें अटेंड करेंगे और पढ़ेंगे और रिसर्च करेंगे। और इस सारी बात के बाद ये होगा कि वो एक किताब तैयार करेंगे, यानी कि एक एकेडमिक काम होगा जिसमें कि इमाम अली पर, उनकी या ज़िंदगी पर या उनके काम पर और शीइज़्म के किसी एस्पेक्ट पर काम हुआ होगा। तो वो एक किताब की सूरत में उनकी जो स्टूडेंट्स यहाँ आएंगे, जो तलबा यहाँ आएंगे, वो नमूदार होगी, वो पेश होगी, वो फिर उसके बाद छपेगी। और ये जो काम है ये ओरिजिनली डॉक्टर मेहदी काज़मी ने औलिया काउंसिल के साथ एक तरह से शुरू किया था। इसकी यानी जो इब्तिदा है वो औलिया काउंसिल की इब्तिदा के साथ जुड़ी हुई है और पहले औलिया काउंसिल ऑफ नॉर्थ अमेरिका आई, डॉक्टर मेहदी काज़मी ने उसको एक तरह से तश्कील दी, उसकी हम सब उसमें शामिल थे और फिर उसके बाद आहिस्ता आहिस्ता ये होते होते हम यहाँ तक पहुँच गए हैं कि एक लाइब्रेरी बन रही है इमाम अली रिसर्च सेंटर की और हमारा ताल्लुक एक यूनिवर्सिटी के साथ भी हो गया है और उसके साथ साथ हमारी एक प्रिंटिंग प्रेस है जहाँ से अब इस मौजू पर किताबें छप रही हैं। कुछ किताबें यहाँ मौजूद हैं जो हम चाहते हैं कि लोग उनको लें और सबसे बड़ी बात ये है कि ये ऐसी चीज़ है जो बग़ैर लोगों की मदद के नहीं आगे जा सकती। तो हमारी इस्तदा है सब लोगों से जिनका कोई भी ताल्लुक़ हो इमाम अली से, इमाम अली रिसर्च सेंटर से या वैसे ही उनको कोई शौक़ हो कि ये काम आगे बढ़े, तो हम उनसे दरख्वास्त करेंगे कि वो डोनेट करें और डोनेशन के बगैर ये कोई भी चीज़ मुमकिन नहीं है। बहुत शुक्रिया।
अस्सलाम वालेकुम, मेरा नाम शहला मुश्ताक है, मैं मिनेसोटा की रहने वाली हूँ और यहाँ पर अक्सर आना होता है क्योंकि यहाँ जो काम हो रहा है औलिया काउंसिल का वो बहुत ज़रूरी है हमारे मुल्क के लिए, अमेरिका के लिए। और आज जो है यहाँ की लाइब्रेरी रिसर्च सेंटर का लॉन्च थी और डॉक्टर कमाली, डॉक्टर काज़मी और बेशुमार और अफराद की मेहनत की वजह से ये इस मुकाम पर पहुंचा है और हम बहुत ही खुशकिस्मत और शुक्रगुजार हैं कि इतने सारे लोग आज यहाँ आए हैं और अपना उन्होंने वक्त भी निकाला और अपना सपोर्ट भी दिखाया। बहुत शुक्रिया।
बहुत अच्छा प्रोग्राम था, माशाल्लाह बहुत अच्छा प्रोग्राम था और मौला अली मौला कायनात का प्रोग्राम था, तो इसमें तो ज़ेर और ज़बर की गुंजाइश ही नहीं है। ये तो जिनका प्रोग्राम था वो खुद ही इसको कहीं से कहीं पहुंचाते हैं, हम तो तफैलियों में है, हम लोग हम तो उनके खिदमतगार हैं और मौला के नाम की बरकत का तो जवाब ही नहीं है। आपका ईमानदारी, आपका खुलूस होना चाहिए, तो फिर आप आगे चलते चले जाते हैं। जहाँ आपके खुलूस नहीं है और आप में वो अकीदत नहीं है तो फिर कोई काम आसान नहीं होता। यकीन कामिल सबसे बड़ी चीज़ है कि यकीन कामिल।
जी, आज हमारा इजरा था इमाम अली लाइब्रेरी एंड रिसर्च सेंटर का, जो हमने कायम किया है अमेरिका की पहली शिया और बैनुल मज़ाहिब तहकीकी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन जो है उसका। और ये हमने कायम किया है, इमाम अली चेयर है हार्टफोर्ड इंटरनेशनल यूनिवर्सिटी में, उनके ताउन के साथ। तो हमारा जो इल्मी सारी काविशें हैं वो उनके एफिलिएशन और उनके तहत होंगी। और वहाँ की जो डीन हैं डॉक्टर डीना ग्रांट, वो हमारी बहुत सपोर्टर हैं और शिया और सूफी स्कॉलरशिप को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए हमने ये काम किया है। यहाँ पे बहुत फुकदान है तहकीकी इदारों का, यहाँ पे स्कॉलरशिप इस्लाम की और हमारे जो मज़ाहिब हैं उसमें बहुत ही कम उसकी, एक तो फंडिंग, दूसरे उनकी 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 विलिंगनेस इन चीज़ों को आगे बढ़ाने की वो बहुत कम है। इसीलिए गिनती के 2-4 ही स्कॉलर्स हैं, रिसर्चर्स हैं जो इन चीज़ों के ऊपर काम कर रहे हैं, हमारे दीन के ऊपर और हमारे कल्चर के ऊपर, हमारी सियासत, हमारे इन चीज़ों के ऊपर बहुत कम काम होता है यहाँ। तो इस वजह से हमने ये शुरू किया है। और दूसरे हमारे यहाँ जो तहकीकी काम है वो एक पुराने तरीके से होता है। यहाँ के जो मेथड्स हैं, यहाँ के जो एक एकेडमिक एनवायरनमेंट है, उसमें इस काम को आगे बढ़ाने की आप सबसे दुआ है। और ये हमारी लाइब्रेरी जो है ये मेयो पैक में कायम हो चुकी है और हमारा पहला फेलो जो है, पोस्ट डॉक्टरल फेलो जिन्होंने पीएचडी किया हुआ है, वो इंशाल्लाह 1 जुलाई से वो काम शुरू कर देंगे। ये फुल टाइम फेलो है हमारे। और दूसरा हमने और ये हमारे पास इस वक्त जो है ना कोई 60 के करीब उसकी एप्लीकेशंस आई हैं, उसमें से हमने 12 को शॉर्ट लिस्ट किया और 1 को हम चूज करेंगे। ये फुल टाइम फेलो है। और इसके साथ ही साथ हम एफिलिएट फेलोज का भी इंतजाम कर रहे हैं। 3 हमारे एफिलिएट फेलोज होंगे इंशाल्लाह इस साल के लिए। ये वो लोग हैं जो दूसरे इदारों में काम कर रहे हैं, दूसरी यूनिवर्सिटीज में काम कर रहे हैं और हमारे साथ वो एक मकाला लिखेंगे। फिर हमारा प्रोग्राम है कि हर साल एक गदीर कॉन्फ्रेंस ऑर्गेनाइज होगी और हमारे जो फेलो हैं वो एक किताब जो मुकम्मल करेंगे, जो बहुत ही सेमिनल होगी। हमारे उसमें टॉपिक की कोई कैद नहीं है। हमारी तारीख, हमारे दीन, थियोलॉजी, कल्चर, कलाम, लिटरेचर, आर्ट्स, उसमें जो भी एक एरिया हो जिसमें उनकी खुसूसी एक्सपर्टीज हो वो उसके ऊपर वो काम करेंगे। तो एक किताब और 2 मकाले साल के और एक हमारी गदीर कॉन्फ्रेंस ऑर्गेनाइज करना, ये उनका काम होगा। इससे होगा ये कि एक तो हम ये चाहते हैं कि बिल्कुल कंप्लीट उनको फाइनेंशियल आज़ादी हो अपने काम करने की, जो जिस तरह से करना चाहे वो करें। दूसरे, हमारे दीन की तालीम और तहकीक की जगह अमेरिका में जो है कि परमानेंट बन गई है। और तीसरी वजह इसको करने की ये है कि हमारे यहाँ जो मिसकंसेप्शंस हैं, जैसे डॉक्टर वालजी साहब ने कहा कि हमारे कल्चर को, हमारी शनाख्त को डिफाइन करने वाले अब तक मगरिब में ही लोग हैं, लेकिन हम ये बेड़ा अब अपने लिए खुद उठाएंगे कि हमारी शनाख्त, हम कौन हैं, हम क्या चाहते हैं इस दुनिया में, हमारा पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू क्या है और हमारे दीन की जो रहने सहने का तरीका है वो हम डिफाइन करेंगे खुद यहाँ पे, वो दूसरे नहीं करेंगे हमारे लिए। ये मेरे लिए एक बहुत बड़ी बात है। और दूसरे, मौला अली की से जो इसकी आइडेंटिफिकेशन है, उसमें इंसाफ जो है वो सबसे आगे आगे है। हम सब जो भी ये काम कर रहे हैं, हम इंसाफ का जो के लिए जो एक काम करना होता है, हर शोबे में हम उसके लिए ये काम, पर्सनली मेरा इंटरेस्ट ये है कि हम मौला अली का जो इंसाफ का कॉन्सेप्ट था उसको बिल्कुल शफाफ तौर पे आया करें और उससे ह्यूमैनिटी को, इंसानियत को फायदा हो।
I just want to introduce the next aspect of our evening here today. In the Sufi tradition, there is always praise of God and other spiritual matters of the soul that are performed with some singing and poetry. And we are very fortunate to have with us today four gentlemen known as the Sami brothers, Rauf, Uruj, Ahmad and Azim, who are going to perform the recitation of a manqabat. A manqabat is basically a song or a poem in praise of spiritual masters, and today the focus is going to be Imam Ali.
Shir yazda